Does that make sense to you? You think we can do that? So what I want you to do to start is I want each of you to try to write a sentence for how much on your whiteboard, okay? Does that sound good? I want you to try on your whiteboard to write a sentence, and then we'll look at it together, okay? Go ahead and write. Make sure you have proper punctuation. How you doing? Done? How you doing, Angel? You set? Now underneath that, can you write one sentence for how many? Let's see if you know. When write a sentence that uses how many. Is that gonna be a little bit harder? You think you can do it, Angel? I think you can do it. You can go on the next line, Angel, if that helps. You set? All right, who has a sentence that they want to share? Do you think you have a good sentence, Emilio? Can you read your sentence to me?
How many kids are at the race?
How many kids are at the race? Good job. What about you?
How many dogs do I have?
Also very good. Now, what about how much? How did how much go for you, Angel?
Really good.
Can you read me your sentence?
How much bones do I have?
Okay. What about you?
How much do you have? Do you have a lot?
Okay, that was a good sentence. That was kind of two sentences, but we'll talk about that another day. So, do you guys know when we use many? We use many when we're talking about things that we can count. So, you said how many kids are at the race? Well, I can count kids. Like I can count 1, 2. 2 kids in the room right now. But there are other things that I can't count. You said, how many dogs do I have? I can count dogs, right? Does that make sense? So, what are some other things that we can count?
How much kids in this school?
We can count how many kids are in the school. Can you think of anything else, not kids, that we could count? What are other things that we see in our lives? Like out in the parking lot, there might be something we could count.
Soda bottles.
What?
Soda bottles.
We could count soda bottles.
How much cars?
How many cars are in the parking lot? Exactly. We could count
How much garbage?
how many garbage cans. Right, because we're using many because we're going to count the garbage cans. We're going to count the dogs or the cars or the soda bottles. Does that make sense? So, erase your boards, and I would like you guys to try to each write one sentence using how many. Can I steal your marker? Try to write one. Think of something we could count.
With how many?
Yeah. One with how many.
What's the planets?
PLANETS. Does that make sense? Angel, since Angel shared first last time, so Amelia, would you like to go first?
How many football players are on the Spartans?
Perfect. How many football players are on the Spartans? And that's something we could look up and we could find out the number because you can count how many people are on the Spartans. Now, what about you?
How many planets in space?
And that's another thing we could look up. How many planets are in space? You could count how many planets there are. Do you know how many planets are in our solar system?
No.
There are 8. There are 8 planets in our solar system.
I know what the third planet.
What's the third planet?
Oh.
Exactly. We live on the third planet from the sun. So, we use many when we're talking about things we can count. Do you know when we use much? Do you have any ideas?
How much players are on the football team?
No. So if we use many when we're talking about counting. We can count football players. So much.
Wait, how much money do you have?
That's an it. Yeah. Things we can't count. Now, how much money is a little bit funny because I could sit down and count my money, but because we don't make money plural, we don't say how many monies. We don't say that. That's bad. We use much. So how much money do you have? And then I would tell you that I have $10 or $86,000 so I can buy the car in one of your games. So,
I don't have 86, I have 45,000.
okay, so you have $45,000 in the game. So I could ask you, how much money do you have? And you would say, I have $46,000. On the other hand, I could ask you, how many dollars do you have? And you would tell me $46,000. But there are things that
In
we,
real life, I have $5.
so that's something we can count. I would ask you, how much money do you have? There are a lot of things that we don't count. One of them is some food we count. We'll start with fish. So I wouldn't say, now, if we're talking about living fish, it's a totally different story. But if we're talking about, I'm going to the store to buy fish to make dinner tonight, I'm going to say, I'll erase the fish. How much fish do I need? Don't ask where that is. So how much fish do I need? Because I can't count the fish that I buy at the store. So I would say, how much? Or we could talk about your homework. Do you guys ever have homework in class?
No, but we do have homework at home.
You have homework from class for home. And your older siblings have more homework, don't they? So I could ask you on Monday, how much homework do you have? And you won't tell me I have 7 homeworks. You'll tell me, you can say, I don't have much. Or maybe you're going to say, I have so much homework.
Or I don't have any.
Right, I don't have any. Does that make sense? Now, I was thinking about it this morning, and I thought there are a lot of words that we use much with, but I bet some of them probably aren't very familiar to second graders. Is that true? Can you think of other things besides homework that you don't use, or that you would use much with? Or should I give you some examples? If I'm going to have you write a sentence. Do you want me to write some words on the board for you to help? Do you want me to give you some words to help with this before you write your own sentence? So, I gave you homework, and that's going to go on the board.
Morning work?
Homework. How much morning work do you have? Yeah. We don't say, I have 5 morning works. You just say, how much morning work do you have? Now, one of the words on this list is one of my favorite words. Popcorn.
How much popcorn
How much popcorn do
I have?
I have? Or
How many popcorn?
we don't say how many popcorn, because like when you make popcorn, do you sit there and count each piece of popcorn?
No, that
No.
would take long.
That would take too long. You could just eat the popcorn. That would be easier. So you say, how much popcorn do you want? You could say, I want so much popcorn. I only want a little bit of popcorn. We could talk about water. How much water do you want? How much coffee is Miss Hendricks going to drink today? How much coffee is Miss Hendricks going to drink today?
Probably a little bit.
A little bit. How much syrup do you want on your pancakes?
Oh, I know.
Do you want syrup on your pancakes? But how much? Do you want a little bit? Do you want a lot? A lot. Do you guys want me to give you a couple more words, or do you think you could write a sentence using the words I've given you so far? More? Not more. More? Okay. So we could say hair. How much hair is on your head? Have you ever sat there and counted all the hair on your head?
No.
Because like your popcorn, that would take too long.
I'll probably need like a billion.
You can talk about help. How much help do you need on your homework?
10.
You need 10 helps? Do you need a little bit of help with your math? Do you need a lot of bit of help with your math?
Sometimes it'll be, sometimes.
Depends. You can talk about your reading. How much reading did you do last week? I did some reading. I didn't do a lot.
Little.
A little. Do you think you could write a how many or a how much sentence at this point? You want to try it? And we'll see how it goes. All right, there's the eraser. Now he has to give it a shot. We'll see how it goes. It's there to help you.
What?
I split pancake.
Pan, P-A-N,
P. What's the next one?
N, C-A-K-E.
I still want.
Want, What's your sentence, Angel?
How much packing do you want?
Now, can I count pancakes?
No.
I can't. I can't go. I have 1 pancake, 2 pancakes, 3 pancakes. Can I do that? I can. So, unfortunately, that's going to actually be how many pancakes do you want? Okay? But it's okay. We'll come up with another one. What about you, sir? What do you have?
How much Dragon Ball Z cards do I have?
Can I count Dragon Ball Z cards the way I just counted my pancakes that aren't pancakes? Alright, so those are both things we can count. So those would both be how many?
There's
So,
only 6 in a pack.
but I can count them. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're gonna try to make a sentence together. And we'll see how it goes. So I'm gonna write an example first. It's one I told you. I said, how much coffee can Miss Hendricks drink? There's our question. How much coffee can Miss Hendricks drink? Now, let's go back to my list. So, you can share this list between you. Some of these are things that aren't very second gradey, but some of these are things that second graders know a lot about. So, look at the word and see if there's a word on here that you guys want to try to write a sentence with. Like maybe bread or beef. You want to write about beef? What do you eat beef in a lot when you eat it? What's something I could put beef in? Could I put beef in enchiladas? Yeah? So, let's pretend that I'm going to say, what?
Wait, does they put in or pudding?
Poultry.
Oh.
Don't worry about what that means. So,
Yeah, those.
so Angel's sending me to the store to buy beef so he can make some enchiladas. So he's gonna say, so I'm gonna say, but Angel, how much beef do we need? And Angel's going to tell me an amount. Like, what's an answer you could give me for how much beef do we need? We need 3 beef. You could tell me you need 3 pieces of beef, you need 3 pounds of beef. Beef's kind of a funny thing. You could tell me we need a lot, we don't need very much. Does that make sense? All right, Emilio, I want you to say there's another word that you know that you think we could write a sentence with. There's music,
Equipment.
equipment. What's a sentence where we would use equipment that you can think of?
I need a lot of equipment.
Now, how could I use the word much?
I need as much equipment.
You're on the right track. I need as much equipment.
As I can.
I need as much as I can get. Now, you did a really good job with that sentence because you took that sentence and made it as much, whereas I've only been focusing on asking the question, how much? It was really good. I'm very impressed. So, do you guys want me to do one more example? Now,
Me?
do you you want to pick a word?
Meat.
Meat. Are you thinking about food? Are you hungry?
No. A little bit.
So, tell me what you think of this. This sandwich does not have much meat. Does that make sense? If I say this sandwich doesn't have much meat, because you might be able to count how many pieces of turkey or beef or whatever are on my sandwich, but we can't count meat. We can't say one meat, two meat. Does that make sense? Do you want to try on your own, or do you want me to write one more example?
One more example.
All right. I'm going to use the word male. You know what the male is? So, we didn't get much mail yesterday. Does that make sense? We only got one piece of mail yesterday. We only got one piece of mail. We didn't get much mail. Some days we get a lot of mail. But yesterday we didn't get much mail. Did you get much mail yesterday?
No.
No?
I know.
You didn't get any mail. Alright. So, I want you guys, what we're going to do is we're going to come back to this the next time we meet. What I want you to do really quickly, I'll take the whiteboards, and what I want you to do to wrap things up for today is I'm going to take the sheet of paper, write your name at the top, and then we're going to go through the first two questions on this paper together, and then we'll finish the rest of this next week, okay? So, it says how much versus how many. It says circle the correct answer. What type of noun is how much? Is how much countable or uncountable? Okay, sorry, the first one's how many. Can I count with how many? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, do you agree? So we're gonna circle where it says countable. And then where it says what type of noun is how much, is that countable or uncountable? Uncountable. Very good. So I'll take that back, and we're going to be done for today, and we'll keep working on this the next time we see each other. Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for helping me today. You just did a good job.